Hey, L Style. Yes, I'm back. So I was trying to see if I could use Zoom with it. Well, I know I can because Zoom streams to YouTube. So I went into Zoom because the delay is ridiculous. It's like 20 seconds. And they say that in the instruction. They're like, yeah, you can Zoom or you can live stream to YouTube with Zoom, but the delay will be 20 seconds. Like that shit is okay. I'm like, oh my God. And like nothing to this is how you can fix it. No, no. They're like, yeah, 20-second delay. That is nuts. I mean, absolutely. How you gonna have a meeting with a 20-second delay? That is crazy. Absolutely crazy. What you say? What's better? What do you mean? What's better? What with this one? Well, with Zoom, I just want to see what it looked like. Okay, and they do have like they have the little Zoom thing in the corner, but it also has the subscribe button. Like when you just go over the icon, the subscribe thing will just pop up, which I think is cool. I ain't got to program or whatever the hell I got to do this on YouTube, but I just wanted to see what it was like because I like the way Zoom looks anyway. But this is fine too. This is fine too. Oh, Stella, where are you? Why you ain't got no picture? Are you local or are you somewhere else? Because I've had Corey. Corey's from Corey's in the Bahamas. Is that where he is? Not the Bahamas, but somewhere over there. Shit, I forget. And I know there's another lady who talks to me on LinkedIn, right? And I believe she's from Canada, and she's been over here on the channel. But yeah, so Tennessee, awesome. I went to where did I go in Tennessee? It was a long time ago. I had to be like 12 years old or something. Tennessee is really nice though. But I believe y'all have that. It's like a path in the canopy of the trees or something. I think that's in Tennessee. I mean, I saw that. It was beautiful. I'm scared of heights, so I ain't getting up there, but it was real pretty. I admired it from a distance. And there was another place, I think it was called like a castle in the sky, I believe. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, so nice. Really, really nice. My nephew was supposed to go trekking through Tennessee for like 6 months or something like that. But then Corona Jenkins came along, child, and he was not able to go. They're growing too fast. What the trees? I love forests. We have a forest park over here is what we call it, and it's just it's so pretty. I love walking in the woods. I really do. I really, really do. So I'm gonna have to. I told y'all that I was taking my certified authorization professional, my CAP exam. I'm supposed to take it October 6th, the city of Nashville. Oh yeah, yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. How long have you been there? When I go home, so I'm from Louisiana, okay? And I left Louisiana when I was 17, so I could go to the military, go to the Army. And then I went back like, maybe like 10 years later or something to get my mom to bring her up to, up to where I was for the holiday. I mean, I didn't even know where I was. I'm like, man, this stuff, when you're gone, they just be cutting stuff down and building stuff up. It's just, it looks, and I know it's been a long time since I've been back since then, like a long, long time. So I know I'm going to be just shocked. Now, how much can you build up the swamps? Because I'm from like southern Louisiana, okay? Like way, way down there. And Yeah, but they find a way. They absolutely find a way, and things are just so different. I didn't go to any no limit concerts. I have never been to a concert ever. I've never been. Because I mean, I told you, like the last video, I was talking about how I'm really an introvert. Like I really, really am. I don't like being around people a lot, you know. And if I do, um, when I am around people, you know, like a speaking engagement or training or something like that, you know, which I love doing, right? I love speaking, I love training, all that. But, you know, I'm just, it's like I've been running a marathon or something, you know, I'm just so drained. I would much rather just be by myself. I really, really would. But at the same time, I like the kinds of things that get me in front of people, you know, like doing this and speaking on stage. Now, I love to hear myself talk. I don't know if you've noticed that yet, but I might have to give me a microphone and just be up here on the YouTube talking in a microphone. Isn't that something? I like to read what I write too. Maybe I'm like a closet narcissist or something. I don't know what the hell, but when I write something, I go back and you know, I just love to read it. I do. I don't know what the heck all that stuff is. Me and some of my friends tried to attend a Two Live Crew. What you mean tried? How do you try to attend a Two Live Crew concert? Did you buy the ticket or what happened? Ooh, 89. 1989. Oh, Lord, how old was I in 89? I was born in 75. So I was still fairly young. It was too old. Yeah, because Two Live Crew, that's you know, parental guidance suggested. I wonder, are they still singing? I don't know. Oh, Two Live Crew. Have you been to you know what I miss? I miss two things the most about Louisiana, right? The first one is Mardi Gras. It has been a lifetime since I've been to Mardi Gras. Now, I've lived in, since I've, you know, since I left home and went to the military, I lived in Washington State. I lived in, where else? Rhode Island, Massachusetts for a little while, a little while, and then here to Virginia. And all those places have parades. You know, they got the Thanksgiving Day, the what you call the thing, the holiday where people wear all the green and shit, the Leprechaun Day, whatever it is. You know, they got the parades and all that. But I tell you, none of them, none are anything like the parades in Louisiana during Mardi Gras. The only one that I've seen, I haven't been there, but that I've seen that can compare, and if it's even possible, maybe a teeny bit surpass it, is in Trinidad. Okay, but man, I'm telling you, I really miss parades because they're just. I mean, it's like if you've never been to Mardi Gras, and not even on the date, like Mardi Gras is Fat Tuesday, right? That's before Lent, but we have parades leading up to that, right? Which are so awesome, and I love them because you said your buddy just came back from Hawaii. That's the place I want to go. I'd love to go to Hawaii. But I love the parades because the stuff they throw off the floats. I mean, that's stuff you be ordering on Amazon. Okay, these people throw. Of course, you got the beads and the doubloons and the candy, right? But they throw like jewelry. I mean, like nice stuff. You can make out like a bandit at these parades. I'm telling you. Now, what I would warn against, if you're even thinking about going to Louisiana for Mardi Gras, I would say go to the one where I'm from. I'm from Houma. That's Houma. Okay, that's south of New Orleans. Okay, I would not recommend going to Mardi Gras in New Orleans. I mean, because you can only imagine, and your imagination would be correct. Okay. So unless you're of, you're of that ilk, all right, and you don't mind just, letting it all hang out, and I mean, child, but it's nice though. So I miss that. And the other thing I miss is crawfish. Have you ever had crawfish? Oh my goodness, they're so good. Now they have crawfish up here. Why is DC is DC still the South? I think they still consider this, because you really wouldn't know it. So they got it up here, but these people don't know what they're doing. Okay. Hey Vince, I'm in Fort Lauderdale, hoping for a Miami Heat parade. Oh, okay, okay. Now listen, how are those parades in Florida? I have a friend who lives in Florida. She lives in, oh Lord, Coral Springs. That's what it is. So I drove one day, not one day, like some years ago. My nephew, you say you can't handle tofu? Oh my goodness, just don't put nothing on it, okay? So my nephew went to spring break one year to Florida, right? And you're 20 minutes from there, okay? Well, he went to spring break in Miami. The guy he went with, his he got robbed. I think he got robbed or something, and something happened to his car. So my sister, so I'm here in Virginia. Okay, he's been on spring break. Like he was gone like 3 days or so when all this stuff happened. Okay, and it was just terrible, you know. And so me and my sister-in-law, we drove down there. Okay, now listen, we drove from Virginia to Florida. Now we had already been driving probably like 10 or 11 hours. Okay. So we finally got to Florida, and I'm like, "Ooh, child, I'm just ready." I called my friend, I'm like, "Girl, we here. We just made it over the border, girl. We in Florida. I'm hungry. I'm ready to." She said, "You got another 5 hours to drive." I said, "Oh," I was like, "Lord." Listen, I got to Florida. I just knew I was about to rest myself, go eat me some good food, hang out for a little bit. She said, "You got another 5 hours to get to where she was." Oh my goodness. That was a long ass drive. I mean, that was so long. Road warrior. That's what I felt like. I didn't want to be. I did not want to be. I felt like I was a road warrior under duress. Okay. Because that is not. Y'all, my feelings were so hurt when she said 5 more hours. I was hurt. I'm telling you. Ooh, I don't mind road trips though. I just want to know that it's gonna take me 15 hours, versus 10. Then she said, "I've done that road trip from New York to Coral Springs. I feel your pain." Seriously. Seriously. And it's not like, so it was, like it's a long drive, but it was even worse because I thought I was done. To think you're done and somebody say 5 more hours, that just made it even worse. Okay, it was like when I just went up to what the heck is that? Oh, Shenandoah. Okay, Shenandoah up here, they have like I love, and I just told y'all I like being in the woods, right? So we went up to Shenandoah, and I did an itinerary. So we were going to stay in a cabin, and we were going to go and do some hiking, right? So Shenandoah has a whole bunch of trails, all right? So now I've never been there, and I'm just not, I don't know, paying attention because I'm thinking about the trails we have here in Forest Park, which are, they're nice. On road trips, my seat is the back seat. I know, so you could sleep, huh? I can't sleep on long drives. I just, it don't matter who's driving. I'm like, me staying awake is gonna stop an accident from happening or so. It's like a plane, right? Like you hold it onto the seat during the turbulence, it's gonna stop something from happening. You know what I'm saying? But I So yeah, that don't happen. So I got the itinerary, I picked the trail, and again, I'm thinking about the trails that I've been on around here, okay, which are nice. They're you know, they're not, they're a little long. Some of them are kind of steep, but it's nothing strenuous, you know. So great YouTube channel, by the way. I've learned a lot from you studying for my CYSA Plus as we speak. Oh, thank you, Vince. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And I'm gonna have some really, really great things coming out to help enhance Security Plus and CYSA, okay? All right, so I picked the trail. We got on the trail, start walking, and I'm noticing, I'm like, why does this trail keep going up? Like where's the flat part? You know? I'm like, where's the flat part? And so I continue walking, and I'm just like, okay, it looks flat up there. Now it looks like we're about to level off, you know, up here. Listen, I had no idea that when you go on Shenandoah's website or you look at their stuff, they tell you the elevation level, you know, of the trail. So how far you gonna be walking up before you up, all the way up, okay? I did not know that. So like halfway, I'm like, I'm done. I said, I'm not doing this no more. I'm tired. This is not what I expected. I'm done. Okay. And then, but I ended up going the whole way. But I was like, I was just, and what it is I don't mind, you know, walking trails or even, you know, at various heights or whatever. But I didn't know that that's what it was. That's what made it bad, right? Because I was expecting a leisurely, you know, walk on the damn trail. I'm huffing and puffing, my heart beating all fast, and I can't breathe. I'm thirsty. You know, I got on the wrong clothes. I mean, it was terrible. It was unbelievable. So Vince, I know that when are you taking the test? Because the current CYSA, I think, is going away October something. Land navigate. I ain't got no land navigation skills. Listen, that was the worst part of the Army, because they make you use that land nav thing where you got to find north, south, east, and west. I'm missing a chromosome or something when it comes to that, because I have no sense of direction at all. No sense of direction. It's sad, but it's true. Okay. No, I don't do land nav. You know, that's why I love my GPS. I go wherever my GPS tell me to go, okay? And sometimes she be taking you around the world and back before you know, when you could have just gone straight, okay? But I'm like, girl, I'm trusting you now. And I love how they say, I was going somewhere, and my GPS was like, take a left at the Taco Bell. I said, girl, that's what we be talking about, you know? Ain't no turn east, turn north, west. No. Tell me where I need to go. Cheryl, turn left where that deer got run over 2 weeks ago. Like those are the kind of directions I need. Okay. Roll your window down. Where you smell the factory, that's when I need you to take a hard right. Okay. Those are my kind of direct. Don't tell me go 3 clicks northeast. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Oh, the spring of 2021. So you're definitely going to get the new one then. Started studying about 3 weeks ago, CCNA Security Plus, working my first year as a security analyst for a renewable energy company. That's awesome. 3 weeks ago, CCNA. Okay, very nice. Hello, listening to your convo while watching Forensic Files. DB Will T1. Okay. You know what? So before I got into cybersecurity, I was in learning and development, right? And I did a lot of evaluation. I love evaluation. So the Jason Dion course, okay, that's good. Now, Jason Dion, you know, he has a new book he has new practice exams for the new CYSA too, okay? And I'm in his group in Facebook. Are you in his group in Facebook? It's really good. And I just asked a couple questions in there too, but his book is good. He has some really good stuff. Like he's a really good instructor. Now I talked about the other time, one of my other videos, how cybersecurity instruction is garbage, and a lot of it is, okay? But Jason, he does a really good job. What was I saying? Oh, forensic files. So to help me, because I was creating a new evaluation model, right? So I'm looking for ways to evaluate differently than the way we normally do it in training, okay? So I was really, really studying forensic files. I watched every single episode that had ever been done up to the point, where I was. I don't know if there's any new ones out yet, but I really started watching that to try to get some ideas about the kinds of things we can look for. Sal, you said you got that too. Good. Glad you got that. About the kinds of things we can look for as evidence, right? And because what we normally do, what we call evidence, is we ask people, do you know more? Did you are you going to use this learning on the job? And I mean, it's like, what kind of evidence is that? Memory forensics, exactly. Because it's like the way they do it on forensic files, right, is don't tell me, okay, you can tell me what you want to tell me, but I need some physics, some tangible or traceable evidence, okay, to say that something did or did not happen. So I was thinking, so what tangible, traceable stuff can we use to find out that you actually learned something, okay? Because a lot of people, you walked up to them, did you learn anything? Oh yeah, I learned a lot of stuff. You see all these testimonials on the websites and all that. Yeah, I learned a lot of stuff. You ain't learned nothing. Practical application, absolutely. And I was telling my partner today, I said, one way that you can be sure, or not be sure, but be more sure, let me say it that way, more sure that somebody actually knows something, right? That is not just them spitting back out to you what they remember reading or what they remember somebody else saying, okay? Is what you do is you ask them to, instead of answer a question, ask them to ask questions about it. And let me tell you the example I used. I said, okay, we both know what an apple is. All right. I said, so ask me questions about an apple that like a first grader could answer. Okay. So he was like, are some apples red? And he had to know the answer to the question that he was asking. So like, are some apples red was one of the questions. His other question was, are apples round? Okay. And his other question was something like, are apples sweet? Or something simple, that a kid can answer, right? Then I told him, I said, okay, so people who study the cultivation of fruit, like those scientists, they're called like, what are they called? Like polymorphs or something like that, right? But these are scientists. They know every damn thing there is to know about an apple, okay? So then I told him, I said, okay, now I want you to ask questions. So form questions in your mind that a person at this level, a scientist, an expert who cultivates fruit for a living, okay, crosses genomes, creates new things, all of that stuff. Form a question that you can ask them that you know the answer to. He was like, I don't know. All I know is apples are sweet. I like them in pie and I like them in juice. Okay, that's about it. Okay, now that's what I mean, right? So instead of you giving me a question about Linux, okay, and I could answer like this about what the commands are for, or port numbers. Okay, I got all my ports down like that. I memorized them. All that, the OSI model. But if you ask me to form a question about Linux commands or the OSI model, That is really going to show you what I know. Okay. The questions you can ask about something tell you more about what a person knows than the questions that they can answer. Does that make sense? Y'all see what I'm saying? To be able to answer complicated questions, or to ask complicated questions, you have to know something about Linux and, you know, red teaming and all that. You know what I'm saying? Now, we don't do it like that, but that's some of the stuff that I'm going to be incorporating into the stuff I'm doing. Some people still don't know that a Macintosh is an Apple. Right. Right. And you know what? So we had, I did an activity for this group where I had one of the people read Steve Jobs. He did an address for a graduating class, and he was talking about how he, you said pop quiz, Vince. I'm actually going to have a, what I'm calling it a Linux bee. I'm calling it a Linux bee, like a spelling bee, but it's going to be a Linux bee that I'm going to have on this channel in a little bit. I'm trying to RDP-in. What port am I looking for? RDP-in. I have no idea. Let me know if y'all want to come up here on the screen, and I'll put the link down there if you want to. What the hell was I saying? Y'all know I get distracted. I'll be forgetting what the hell I'm talking about. 3389. Is that right? Yeah, we got two people saying 3389. I'm good, Vince. Okay. Yeah, I know what the hell. So anyway, I'm gonna incorporate that kind of stuff in there, because I think that's just, you know, oh, good. You guys got that. Yeah. So we need to. The ports. First of all, it was hard for me to understand what the hell a port was. Okay. I get the ports. Like, I can look on my machine here and I see where the Ethernet cable goes, where the, you know, USB-C goes and all that. I get the physical ones. I could not for the life of me understand what the hell is a logical port. Like, what the hell is that? How does that work? You know? And I ask questions. Like, I really want to know how that shit works, you know, and reading the definition does nothing for me. It really doesn't. The definition rarely helps me understand, you know, what something actually is, and it's not just what it is, but what it does. What's its function in the whole picture, right? So if we don't have ports, if there were no logical ports, right, what would that mean? I'm trying to learn Vim. What is Vim? What is VIM? Is that an acronym or is that a thing? And I'm sure I had to remember 3389 for the test, but just like I said, I don't remember that stuff no more. For what? I ain't using it for nothing. Just like Excel. I took a whole like $2,000 Excel course when I first got into government. And I never used that shit, never. And right now I'm struggling to find out how to get to the next line. In Excel is crazy. Vim is an advanced text editor. Okay. So you know what? When I was hold on, let me get this copied. I'm gonna put it in the chat, okay? I'm telling you, these people, I could have told them from the jump. Oh, hold on a second. Let me see if I could do it this way. I'm trying to put it in the chat. Okay. Do you see it? You see the link there? Because it didn't let me put it in the comments. even though it's a StreamYard link. Let me know if you see the link. You don't see it yet, Vince? Tell me something now. Tell me something good. Oh, so what I was saying earlier, right, is that I was supposed to take my CAP exam on October 6th, the Certified Authorization Professional. You don't see it? Let me try one more time up in here. I don't know why these people tripping. Damn it, it's not letting it go through that way. It's only doing the private chat. So how do I do that? Let me see if I can figure this out. Because I know that you can drop the link in the chat. What if I click on your name? What will that do? Let's see here. Nope, I don't want to do that. Vince, if you have an email, I can send it to your email, because it is not allowing me to put it in this chat. It says YouTube rejected your comment. This is fairly common when sharing a link. You may need to share the link another way. L Style, I'm going to postpone it because I have not taken the time to study at all. Like, I really haven't. And what I want to do, though, which is what I put in my individual development plan, I want to do something in risk management. Like, I want to work with the ISSO in our organization, or, you know, because I went to the boot camp, which I told y'all was terrible. Okay. But they gave me a whole lot of resources that I can use for, I think, 6 months or something like that. So, so I've been going back to that. Okay. All right, let's see. I'm going to send it to your email. Let's see here. I'm just going to put it in the subject line. Okay. It's going to be from StreamYard. Now, why let you put something in the chat, but it won't let me put nothing in the chat? Ain't that something? That ain't right. I need a pen. I gotta write it down because I can't copy it. U-T-I-A-V-I-N. U-R-R-U-T-I-A-V-I-N. Okay. There we go. All right, I'm sending it to you. I'm gonna have to jump off the live. Gotta go to work. Oh, bye, L Style. Thank you so much for being here. I love it when you're here. Thank you. I really, really appreciate you. Have fun at work. Vince, I sent you the link. Okay. Yeah, I have not taken the time to study for that thing. And it's interesting stuff. Like the stuff that I have looked at and studied, and the notes, my notes. Let me show y'all my notes for this damn test. So what I had to do, because the boot camp was so janky, you know, I had to take notes that were I had to use pictures and colors and all kinds of stuff, right? So this is my first page, right? This goes through the different phases of the, can y'all see that? That's the first page right there, okay? Now, when I got over here, I started noticing, I started noticing that a lot of the stuff the guy was talking about, he had just talked about. So I'm like, why didn't you say that over here when we were talking about this? You know, there was so I found myself like jumping back and forth in my pages because I'm like, okay, he talked about that. Now this was a 3-day boot camp, okay. So I'm like, all right, he talked about that on day 1. Now he did this on day 2. It was like it was crazy. I should not have had to work that hard because I did some hard damn work, okay, some really hard work to get this information, which is what I was talking about, right? If you have a good design, the designer would see, all right, so we're talking about, well, let me see, for example, let me give an example of what happened here. Now, we talked about the authorizing official, right? So that's the person that looks at the information system, and the only person who is able to give a thumbs up or a thumbs down, right? Because is it the ATO? The authorizing official, okay. Because or is the AO, the ATO is the thing that they give. So the AO. So what was I saying? So this is the only person that can say yes or no, because saying yes, this person is accepting the risk. Okay, so what you're trying to do is for your information system, you put on, so you find what kind of system is it, you find out what kind of controls the system needs, you go ahead and you implement all the security controls, okay, and you test it and you do all that, right? Now, sometimes they may not be able to put on a control for whatever reason. You know, they don't have the money to do it. You know, they don't have the technology to do it. Whatever the reason is, right? But at the end of the day, what you're trying to do is get to the point where you have an acceptable level of risk, okay? Because there's no way in the world you're going to be able to, just eliminate all risk. That's not going to happen. But you want to get to at least an acceptable level, okay? And the AO is the only one who can say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and accept this risk. So go, press go. You can put it in production. We're good to go for 3 years, no more than 3 years at a time, okay? It can be less than 3, but no more than 3. So that there was a lot about the AO, right? And so there was AO stuff on day 1, AO stuff on day 2, and AO stuff on day 3, which is okay. However, the way he was explaining it was like it was a separate thing, okay? When you could have just as easily, hey, Vince.
Okay, nice to meet you.
You too. Thanks for being here online.
Hold on, I got some feedback. I still got your YouTube channel on.
Oh, okay.
Hey, let me pause that, and there you go. How you doing?
Oh, good. How are you?
Doing well. I'm actually, don't tell my boss, I'm kind of at work right now.
Oh, are you?
It's a slow night. I got my reports done. I'm just chilling.
Yeah. So what do you do?
I'm a security analyst, cybersecurity analyst for a utility company down here in Florida.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, you're still kind of working. We're talking about security stuff, so.
Absolutely. Hey, I just want to say that your YouTube channel is awesome, and I've learned a lot, and you motivated me to get my ass in gear to start studying for my CISA because I've been putting it off.
Oh, have you? Okay, nice. Very good. Well, between the CISA and Security Plus, the CISA was my favorite.
Favorite to take or favorite to study for?
Both.
Okay.
It was both. First of all, it requires a lot of analytical thinking, and I love that. I love trying to figure stuff out, So that just came naturally because I did that in my last job, And I had 4 hours to take it.
Nice.
It was lovely, which was lovely.
How long do they normally give you?
Well, Security Plus, it was 1 minute per question, up to 90 questions.
Yeah, I knew that one. I took Security Plus.
Oh man, I was like a fish out of water. I'm like, I can't do this. I gotta think about the answer. I can't just answer the question. You know? I don't think like that. Like I need time. I need, and the sister gave me that, and I was just in, it was lovely. Man, I was a bucket of nerves for the Security Plus. I'm telling you, because I felt rushed.
I was a bucket of nerves for the CCNA.
Oh, were you?
That was a doozy for me. That was my first test. All right, let me give you a little background about me. So I was doing physical security, like loss prevention and asset protection at Macy's, and I was there for 5-6 years. And my job went from like chasing shoplifters to like credit card fraud. It evolved over my time there. And I saw that most of my day was going to identity theft and credit card fraud. But Macy's, at least at my level, didn't have the tools to like catch these guys. So I was like, there's got to be something to this. There's got to be something there. Yeah. So then I started looking up cybersecurity. This is in 2018, so not too long ago.
Okay.
And, yeah. And at that time, I barely knew what a router was. I knew how to. Yeah, I knew how to, chat and check my emails and turn my PC on, but that's basically it. And so I started looking at that. And then, the algorithm on Instagram starts sending you things. So I got the University of Miami Cybersecurity Bootcamp. So I was looking into that, and then I happened to get laid off from Macy's. So, they're going, I like the company, but, the times are tough for them. And so I took my severance package. I paid for the boot camp. And that was a 10-month boot camp. And then I just applied everywhere, to try to get my foot in the door. I don't care if it was help desk. I don't care if they said the title had engineer in it. I know I'm not an engineer, but I'm going to apply for it.
I'll do it.
Yeah. So after, I don't know, literally 100 applications, I got in touch with someone from staffing agency who had connections at the power company down here. I went and interviewed, and I got my first job. My first IT job is a security analyst.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm kind of just hitting the ground running, learning as I go. And I started in February, so I've been there, 8 months, 7, 8 months, and I love it. I love it.
What do you love about it?
It's almost like sometimes my job is a lot like a puzzle, and just learning the network architecture and seeing how this is a huge ass company. So learning the architecture and learning how things from the outside are trying to come into our network, and things, how we decide on whether we're going to allow it or not allow it. And the people that I work with, I don't know if this is just a IT thing, but the people I work with are just awesome. I went in there and I was totally honest with them. I was like, hey, I don't know much, and I'm going to be asking you guys a lot of questions. So please don't bear with me and don't get annoyed, And they took me in with open arms, and it's great. It's great.
That's
and
good.
What sucks though is that I got in, like I said, in February. So I was there for about 4 or 5 weeks, and then COVID. It's a blessing that I get to keep my job and I get to work from home right now. But I don't get to shoulder surf people and bug them all day long. And on top of that, I'm the new guy, so I got the graveyard shift. So it's just me and one other guy on right now. But that's me. I'm Vince.
Well,
nice to meet
you. That's a great story. That
Thank
really,
you.
Yeah, and you're very. One thing I've noticed that really just makes even a job that's not as good as we may want it to be, or not what we expect. If you're working with amazing people, that really just makes it that much better. I mean, because I remember going into work, just excited to see the people I work with.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It just makes things so much better. So you're so, lucky to have that, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because everybody doesn't, you know, everybody doesn't have that.
I'm sure. I mean, when I was working at other jobs, you know, at Macy's, a lot of people were, you know, fashion forward and they're into the marketing and advertising. I'm not really too into that, you know. It was just a job for me. But here is like, I could talk all day about, you know, Trojans and
Yeah.
you know, Office 365 going down for a couple hours.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's good. That's really good. I'm, you know, I'm really loving this space too. I really am.
What's your position? I'm sorry, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm a cybersecurity policy analyst, right? So
Okay.
I work with the CISO and other policy owners in my area, and we write like we wrote the PED policy together.
Okay.
I'm just finishing up our IT procurement request policy. So you know those kinds of things, and working with the different policy owners, you know, really helps me more about the business and what they do and how things are connected. Because that's one thing that I'm noticing, right? Even though like things really should not be as siloed as they are, you know, especially with IT, because everything is connected. Like that's what the hell this is, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely, got to have a good vibe with the people you work with. That's right, that's so helpful. So, yeah.
Is there a
So
way I could see the chat too?
I don't
Oh, there it
know.
is. Yeah, I just hit escape. No,
See
we're
it?
good.
Okay. Yeah. There you go. Yep. So, yeah. So I'm liking it too. I've only been in this space I started in May. I went from HR, yep, and now I'm here in cyber. But I'd already been looking at cyberspace and various things, like what is cyberspace, you know, for my last job, which is learning, you know. So I was already looking at that stuff. And actually, I took my ITIL training while I was an HR specialist because I liked that framework, you know, and I was like, man, we can use a lot of this in evaluation, you know, and the kinds of things we're doing, which is why I had no idea, you know, that it would come up because my first project was to create a service level agreement to work with the SMEs to do that, right? So having that ITIL really, really helped. It helped a lot.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I look forward to the future. I think I'm gonna start. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm gonna start gearing it towards digital forensics. I got tasked with doing a lot of the collecting of legal matters for the legal team for doing litigation work and collecting it. You know, big data collections, and I really enjoy that. And then that's a big part of like threat hunting as well as you know, being able to collect the data and analyze it. So I'm gonna after I take the CISA, I gotta start prepping myself for some digital forensic courses. And you know what's cool? All right. Oh, I didn't tell you this. I'm a contractor. I got started with a staffing agency, so I'm not fully on board with the company, but I'm here for a year. But it looks like they're gonna extend me, God willing. And if they do, and I get put onto their full-time staff, they pay for SANS training and SANS courses.
Oh wow!
SANS. I know.
Wow.
So I was like, I'll take a pay cut. Just let me get that training.
Oh wow! Yeah. I was just looking at SANS tonight for some job openings in learning and development. But man, yeah, that's a big deal.
There's no way I could afford that. It's like $7,000 a course.
I know. My friend actually got, what did he get? His GSLC? Is that what it's called?
There's so many acronyms. I don't know.
Yeah, something LC. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he got that. But yeah, that stuff is expensive. Very expensive. But that's good. That's great. Yeah, that's awesome. So have you heard? I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go after you.
Well, I was going to ask so last year, they are expensive. They are. I mean, I don't even know if expensive is the word, right? I mean, my goodness. And I'm surprised, are they on the DOD 8170 or what the hell is that thing? 8150, something like that shows all the certifications you need to work. Have you seen that?
I haven't looked into that, no.
I believe it's called the 8150, and it has like the different, do you know what I'm talking about, DB Will? It has I think it's 8150 or 8170. and it shows the different
DO,
certifications.
you said DOD?
DOD is the different certifications that you need in order to work, you know, with the Department of Defense, right? So, and they have different levels. They have level 1, 2, and so Security Plus, I think, is level 2. I think CISA may be level 2 as well. But I don't know if they're on there, if those SANS certs are on there or not. They got a lot of CompTIA stuff on there, though, for sure.
I was just about to say that. I know that. So let me fix that. I know that for the government jobs, they like CompTIA.
Man, they love it. Security Plus, they love it.
But if you're trying to get a pay raise, I think SAN's the way to go. Or managerials. Everyone I work with has at least one SAN cert.
Do they?
Yeah, really? I work with geniuses. Like, they blow my mind every day about how good they are. But you know, they started with this. They started with computers when they're 10, 11, 12 years old. You know, taking them apart, putting them together. Me and you, we didn't do that growing up. I know I didn't. So just hell no, I know. But yeah. So a lot of them have.
I first experienced a computer. I was in the Army. Okay, I was
Thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you. I was a supply specialist, 92 Yankee, right? I was stationed in Washington State, and we had to go to the motor pool. The motor pool is where I worked. So
DC or up northwest? Washington DC or northwest?
No, northwest.
Okay.
Yeah, Washington State. So I had to input data into this little computer that we had on the desk. All I remember is a blue screen and trying to figure out what the hell, you know, and it never worked. Like, something was always wrong with it.
The blue screen of death.
I mean, I didn't know what the hell I was doing, you know, and that was the most experience I had with computers before I started college.
I was in AOL chat rooms in like 9th grade. I think that was like
the first
time. Yeah. Wow. I'm 34.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at these certs here now. 8570 baseline certification requirements. Level 2 CCNA security. I don't have that. I just got regular CCNA. Yeah, certified ethical hackers there.
Yep, they love that one.
That's a sexy one. I don't know if that's for me, man. I don't know.
Well, I heard that it's not very good. I mean, it's just multiple choice. Like, it's not like you have to do anything. You just gotta.
Well, I'm not talking about the cert. I'm talking about being on the red team.
Oh, red teaming. Yeah.
Yeah. Certified ethical hacker. I know those guys. Actually, I'm not gonna say that. Never mind. I was gonna say something about the company.
Don't say it. What is it?
I can't. But the red team guys, they're very knowledgeable of what they do, and they're very technical. They're super technical, and I think it's gonna take me a long time to get to there. I think my route would probably be best if I stayed with digital forensics. I don't know. I just take to that easier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's good. Yeah. That's good. And it's interesting you say that, because I was listening to a panel the other day, and there was a blue team guy on there, and he actually mentioned, he said, you know, I love blue teaming, and, you know, and I'm not going to say what I want to say about the red team, because I really have an issue with them. He didn't expound on that. Like, what's up with the red team? Like,
I don't have an issue with them. They're really nice guys. Yeah, I don't know. It's something that I think you either like it or it's not for you. Just trying to find those doing the vulnerability assessments and penetration testing. Like, that's that's the sexy word right now, the penetration test. You know, everybody wants to be a pen tester, and it's cool, I guess.
You know what? Last year, like the end of 2019, NIST came out with a document. The name of it escapes me, but it's about resilience, right? About systems being resilient versus attacking, you know, which is something that I've been looking into. And they actually, first of all, the IMF came out with a document in 2016, the International Monetary Fund. They came out with that cybersecurity resilience thing. And now NIST has taken over a lot of what they've done, and they call it the process they call, it's AP, oh my goodness. It's APT, but it doesn't mean what it means for, for
advanced
that.
persistent threat.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that, but it's still APT. It's something, but it's something having to do with that. Anyway, because what they're saying in that document is that instead of trying to fight or putting so much focus on fighting hackers and keeping them out, because that's not going to happen, like you're not going to keep them out. And even though hackers are not in systems as long as they've been, like years, they've been in there like for years, just lounging around. Okay. So that's gone down to like 6 months or whatever. But anyway, what they were saying is that the goal now with the cyber resilience is to be able to do the work while they're there, still being able to function and, be there for the business, help the business reach its mission and all that stuff while these, this advanced persistent threat is in there, which is a different kind of perspective,
Yeah, it is. That's something that I've learned that during incident response, if you find something, one of my responsibilities is processing IOCs, indicators of compromise. And, sometimes you'll find, an IP address that, may or may not have passed through a firewall. It's not the best. It's not a panic mode yet. It's because if you start cutting things off, they're going to realize that they've been found, and then they could either, retaliate, do something malicious, start, so if you just like they do recon to get into your system, you have to do recon on them to get them out of your system. That's the way you got to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I was wondering about that because I've heard that at a lot of conferences, like very seasoned cybersecurity professionals would get up there and say, about the two people in the world, those who've been hacked and those who don't yet know that they've been hacked. Okay. So when it comes to that, my question was, all right, so they're in there. So how do you get them out? Like, how do you find them, especially if they've been in there so long? Like, what is that? How does that happen? And I was like, do you put a honeypot in your organization or whatever? And then I read about the zero trust architecture. That's come out as well, where you don't trust nobody, inside or outside. You got all kinds of authentication, for everything, pull the machine, everything, which sounds pretty complicated, and expensive,
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, that seems like a lot. Zero trust seems like
we we talk about zero trust at my company all day long, and I probably put my password in on. I work 4 10-hour shifts for 4 days, 10 hours, and I probably put my password in. I would probably say around 100, 150 times in my shift.
Wow.
Hard things, timeout, hard tokens, soft tokens, all good, everything. But it's cool, I'm just lucky that I got this gig because they got like the best tools that I know of. I don't know it all. I barely know a little bit, but I know that they got the best tools and the best people watching over this stuff. I'm very lucky to be with this kind of equipment. I can, in the future, I might have to go to a smaller company and see how things are run and be like, oh my God, all this stuff's in your network. my old boss would freak out if this was happening. Yeah. So, can you tell me a little bit about the type of audits and compliance that you work with, or is that too business related?
Audits and compliance.
That's what you said, right? You work with
policy.
Policy.
I do a lot of policy and some training. A little bit of not training. I help design the training. Design the training for people, but that's why I'm taking the CAP, right? Because I do want to get into the risk management parts, and the auditing and all that, because I do because auditing is a lot like evaluation, and I love evaluation, and so I'm definitely looking to get into that part of it as well. fun for me. Like digital forensics is for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I like that stuff.
The GRC compliance stuff.
I
don't know too much about that.
Yeah, all of that. Well, and also the privacy stuff is really interesting. I mean, it sounds boring maybe, but it's very, very interesting to me too, because I read about what is this thing called? Oh my goodness, I can't remember what it's called, but there's this whole movement to like there's this lady, I forget her name, but she wrote about how privacy is really like giving us the crumbs at the table. Like we shouldn't just want privacy, right? We actually should want ownership of our data, you know, not just for the people who have it to say, you know, you can't have this or whatever, because of all the benefits, you know, of data. Like data is very, it's like, what do they call it?
It's like gold now.
Yeah.
It's like gold.
Is that and not just like for selling it, like the things you can do with it, right? Which Facebook and Amazon have figured out, have found, you know, and Google. Okay, and you know.
Last night, I don't cut you off. Last night I was watching your video where you're doing trivia with your friends, and one of the questions was like, name the 3 commodities that are. I'm gonna.
Oh yeah.
And I'm screaming at my laptop because
it, right?
Oh my god! I don't know if they didn't understand the question right. It was
and they Google, were Googling too, right?
It was Google, Facebook, and Amazon. And you give away money for that? You don't want me on there.
Yeah, that was fun. We're gonna have to do that again. Yep.
That was cool. That's a great idea.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I was surprised by some of the stuff, like all the quantum, the stuff with the, what the hell is that called again? Cryptography. The cryptography. How quantum computing is going to be able to, you know, shit on all the cryptographic things we got going on right now.
Oh yeah.
So actually, I didn't know that NIST works on that. Like NIST and NSA. Like they're currently right now at this moment, you know, working on quantum cryptography. Is that what it's called again? Yeah. Which is
those words scare me and make me feel unintelligent. When I hear quantum, I'm like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, there's a lot of interest. I mean, so many things, right? And here I am, you know, a couple months ago trying to figure out what the hell a port is. You know, like what? Like how logical port? What the hell is that?
Me and like, you both. What's an access control list?
Right. And I have some of the weirdest. So my partner, right, the guy that I partner with to do stuff, he's been on this channel a couple times, but like he would get so frustrated because I'm like, don't tell me the definition, damn it. Like that is not helping me, you know, because I really want to know. Like the other night I was thinking like memory, like where is that? What is memory? What is it? I want to see it. Like, what does it look like really? What does, and I actually was able to find some stuff, you know, about it because, and you know what helped me understand is understanding what buffer overflow is. That helped me see, you know, what memory was and how it works and all that stuff. But
are you familiar with Professor Menser? I'm sure you know him.
Menser, yeah, I am.
Yeah. He's got these, I just noticed this. I was checking out his channel the other day and he's got like 5-minute, normally I would just watch his study groups where he would do like a 2.5 hour on Security Plus or A Plus, whatever. But I noticed that he's now made broken 5 to 7 minute clips. And it's titled like everything. Like you want to know about VLANs, you want to know about switching and routing, you want to know about physical security, and it's just a 5-minute button right there, and he like breaks it down real quick.
Does he? I need to look at him more then, because I normally look at Eli, the computer guy.
I know him too.
But he's doing news now. He's not even doing technology stuff. He's talking about like world events and stuff.
Network Chuck.
I've never heard of him.
Ooh, he's if you're planning on doing any like CCNAs or what is that? What am I saying right now? CCNAs who? Is that their
Cisco?
That's Cisco. Thank you. If you're doing any of those kind of certs, he's the guy to go to.
What's his name?
CCIE's Network Chuck.
Does he use visuals? Because I can't be just listening to people talk now.
A little bit of both, depending on the video you choose.
Yeah, I want to see. So one thing I need to know that I'm not getting a clear answer for. DB, will you say Chuck is good? Okay, so he watched Chuck's. All good channels. Okay, I've never seen him. I'm gonna have to go over there. But I am highly interested in how you figure out the cyber terrain. Is that what it's called? Yeah, like the terrain of your organization, like the stuff you're protecting. Like, how do you?
I like to use the term network architecture.
Yeah. So, but the whole thing can't be the. It's not terrain. It's called the site. What the hell is it called? I'm about to find out right now. It's like because how they say cyberspace is the fifth, war domain, whatever the hell, right? Mm. So when you're in war and you have to sketch out, this is where our high ground is, this is where we have the most, threat, this is where the safe zone, how do you figure that out? Like, and what is it called? It's not called cyber terrain, it's called something else.
You're talking about the internet as a whole, or just your company?
Oh, your company.
Yeah. So you're trying to figure out, like, how does HR talk to marketing, like that? Like, how is it the route and switch?
I'm trying to figure out what hardware, software, wetware, all that stuff. What's your terrain? I'm sure I'm not asking that question well. Let me see if I can find what the actual term is, first of all.
Like in line. You want to know what's in line.
I mean, how do you know what you're fighting for? Because it can't be all the internet, you know what I'm saying?
You want to know what you're looking for to block is out there from your internet, from your network?
Something like that. What the hell is this thing called? I can't believe I can't find it. I know I sent it to myself. I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure out, because this guy, he was a Air Force colonel or something, like a cyber assessment, something like that. I can't believe I can't find this thing. Oh, you know what I can do? Here we go. This is what it is. Okay, so this guy, his name is Martin Libicki, right? And he says that cyberspace is not a warfighting domain, okay? And he talks about it in here, and he gives all the reasons why it's not a war. And this is the guy who talks about, like, the looking more at what we do, looking more at what cyber professionals do from an engineering mindset rather than a attack defense mindset. Kind of like bridges, right? How bridges have to withstand storms and stuff like that, and they just have to stand, right? They have to be very resilient and adaptable and all that stuff. Maybe the term is in here.
Hardening is a term. Hardening your network. You want to try to think of it as layers of an onion. You got to peel back one piece, you still have another layer of the onion. So you can't just have one tool that does all. You got to have your IPS, you gotta have your firewalls, you gotta have your SIM, you gotta have your proxies, you gotta have your phishing management. Gotta have it all.
Evaluating your cyber posture. I don't think I've heard it. What is cyber posture? What does that mean? What is that, DB?
You're in Virginia, you said?
I am.
Nice. My brother was he in DC or in Virginia? Where's Arlington Cemetery?
Oh yeah, that's in Arlington.
Oh, Arlington, Virginia.
Oh yeah.
Alexandria.
Yeah. It's close to very close to DC.
Yeah, he was in the army over there. It's beautiful over there.
Oh, it's gorgeous over there. I haven't been to DC in forever.
Some parts of the hood, though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean,
just
even
like
though
else.
Yeah. Yes, just like everywhere else.
What was I gonna do? Oh, we gotta talk about your Twitter posture.
Oh, what's up? What's up with that?
I followed you yesterday, and I was surprised.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I shouted you out on Twitter yesterday.
Oh, you did? I didn't see that. I'll have to go look at that. What's up? Well, what did you see on there?
I'm trying to find it. I was surprised about your followers. You should be known. You are, in my opinion, you are. How do I say this? Like a fresh face for cybersecurity. Like you're just passionate about it, eager to learn, and there's a lot of people like you and I out there, but you articulate better than I do, so you should be known.
Yeah, I think I'm slowly but surely I'm getting folks.
Let me see.
Cybersecurity posture refers to an organization's overall defense. Yeah, against cyber attacks. Encompasses any security policies in place, employee training programs, or security solutions you have deployed, from malware to antivirus. Yes, I think that's what I'm talking about. I haven't heard it called cyber posture, but that sounds like what I'm attempting to find and can't.
Word.
Crazy.
Did you use Twitter at all for your study resources?
Do I go on Twitter for anything?
Because it is a huge tool for me.
How are you using it? I don't think I use Twitter.
I've cut it back quite a bit now, but I follow anybody and everybody that has anything to do with cybersecurity and cybersecurity training. And my timeline is just different links of, a webinar over here, or, a talk over there, and a meetup here. And I think I pushed my learning the most out of anything.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's great. So yeah, I didn't consider that but I do, like, I learned about cyber psychology from Twitter. I'd never heard of cyber psychology. Right?
What is that?
But I love it. It's like, it's the study of the relationship between people and machines, basically, and it's so fascinating. It really is. So because of that, like I contacted a lady, she lives in Dubai, I think.
Nice.
And yeah, we chatted for a little bit because I was like, man, what is this? Like, this sounds awesome, so she gave me some resources and stuff to look for. But yeah, so I do discover a lot from Twitter. I do. And I've reached out to some people to see if they're able to chat. And people are really willing. They are. They're very willing to, have a 5-10 minute conversation, answer some questions, which is really awesome.
There's a lot of great people out there if you can navigate through all the toxicity of Twitter.
And I never used to use Twitter, but I'm starting to use it now. I don't even know what Instagram is for. Like, I don't like what is, I'm on it, but I don't know why. Because I'm not sure what it's for.
It's to shake your butt and promote something.
Is that what it is?
These influencers.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I follow people who are not in cyber too. It's like one of my favorite people to watch on YouTube and follow. Her name is T.S. Madison, right? She's a transgender man. Is that how it goes? So transgender man. She's so funny. I love her. Very, very funny. And
T.S. Madison?
T.S. Madison. Yeah. Now
Is she like a comedian, or is she just funny and just as a person?
Yeah, she's an entertainer. Okay. She started off in porn. Yeah. So she's got a bunch of porn stuff out there. But I only watch porn for the comments, right? So that's
Me too.
I scroll down to the comments. But like now she's in like, entertainment stuff, and she has a her YouTube channel and the other stuff that she does. So hilarious. So her and Funky Dineva. Funky Dineva's not transgender, but I think he's gay, I think. Or he's a cross-dresser or something. You can connect with a lot of good people in the cyberspace on social media. Yes.
Oh yeah.
What are you laughing at, DB? What was so funny? Let me see. I'm gonna try one more time to find this damn document.
I was blown away by this guy yesterday that I was watching his talk. Recently, there was a digital forensics summit by SANS. They have a whole bunch of speakers. I'm trying to find him. And he works in upper Manhattan, Bronx, and Harlem, teaching inner city youth cybersecurity. And his speech or his talk about, where the hell is he? And his talk about, bringing diversity into this field, and he's basically doing a startup here. His I should give him a shout out because people should know about him. If I can find him. At Gemini with 2 eyes at the end, Matt. This dude is a beast.
MATT?
Yes.
At Gemini, Matt?
At Gemini. 2 eyes at the end of Gemini, Matt.
MAT.
MATT. And you should just give his talk a listen on YouTube. It's just YouTube SANS DFIR Summit, and you'll see a bunch of talks. And for me, his was like one of the last ones. 30-minute speech. He's a beast. Very knowledgeable man. Is what?
Is he going to TED Talk?
It's not a TED Talk. It sounds like a TED Talk, but it's a SANS talk.
Is he on YouTube, or should I find this on Twitter?
I gave you his Twitter handle, but if you go to YouTube and you YouTube SANS DFIR Summit, yeah, I'll send you a link in your email.
2019, 2020?
2020. This was a few months ago, like 2 months ago. Hey, it's weird seeing me on Twitter. I mean, not on Twitter, on YouTube.
SANS Digital Forensics and Incident Response. So why are you watching, what the hell is that again? You said you're watching? Forensic Files.
That wasn't me.
That wasn't you?
No.
Oh man. You're in different digital forensics? You're not watching Forensic Files?
No, it's not the same.
It is the collective security stat. Okay, I read that. What do you can connect with a lot of good people. I read that.
It was all the way at the beginning of the video. Library.
So Malcolm Gladwell is one of my favorite authors in the whole world. He's written like amazing things. So he did this talk in, it could have been Dubai or something like that, where they have a lot of money and stuff. So he's on the stage, right? So he's talking about the difference between a problem. No, he calls it a puzzle and a mystery, right? And he talks about how with a puzzle, you have, there's an answer. Okay, so if you think about a regular puzzle that you put together, right? Something fits into there so that you can get the whole picture, right? And what he was saying was we're evolving into needing to be able to solve mysteries as well as puzzles, because mysteries are not the same as puzzles, right? There's no set answer in a mystery, right? And so, and a mystery is more about, if you think of Sherlock Holmes, right? And the way that he was just, intuitive and just, very observant and just able to put things together, not so that it was a complete picture, but that it was enough information. It's not, so the question was not, do you have the right information? The question with a mystery is, do you have enough information to go ahead and move forward? And then he used like 9/11 as part of that, the Cuban Missile Crisis, comparing and contrasting a problem between a mystery. But it's a really great talk, and for a forensics guy, I think it would really, add some insight into the kind of work that you do.
If you could send me a link, that'd be great. I just sent you that YouTube link that I was talking about through your email.
Okay, thank you. Hey, no Cam, problem. Said let me out of your basement. What are you talking about? Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm just not finding this thing. This is ridiculous. It's on my work computer, so I'll have to go look over there. Ooh, child, it is 1 a.m. Where are you again? You're in Florida. It's 1 a.m. for you too, right?
Yep, I work 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. I'm here for another 7 hours.
Oh, those are some hours.
That's the rookie hours. I'm paying my dues over here.
You are.
Yeah, it's cool though.
You are.
Yeah, well, it was a pleasure. Are you getting off? Was that what you were alluding to?
Yeah, I gotta get up in the morning and do some stuff. But this was fun. Thank you so much for coming up here with me.
Absolutely, we should do this again and again. I followed you on Twitter. My Twitter is vinware_.
Okay, I'll find you. Yep.
And yeah, I mean, I got a notification when you hop on YouTube, so I'll see you around. Nice meeting you.
You will. It was great meeting you too.
Start studying for your test. I will do the same.
I know. I will.
Have a good one.
You too. Have a good night.
Bye.
That was fun. All right, y'all. I'm gonna head out here and take my behind the bed. So thank you so much for hanging out just to chat. I really appreciate that. And I got to try that Zoom thing again. I mean, Zoom is ridiculous to be okay with a 20-second delay. I got to write somebody. Somebody needs a letter. They need an email, okay? And they're going to get it. So thank you again. I appreciate all of y'all so much. You have no idea how much I appreciate you being here. So have a good evening, morning, whatever you do, and I'm going to see you back here next time, okay? Bye-bye.